久しぶりだな、麦わら。
What's up, guys? We are back again with some more Perona gameplay. We are taking on Jewelry Bonney today. So we won the dice roll and chose to go second. Bonney is going to open up with a more pizza searcher to look for a supernova. Thinking through what she's going to pick up here. And it looks like she's going to pick up the 5-cost Bonney that freezes a character or freezes a rested Dawn. And then she's going to pass it to us. It looks like on 2 Dawn here, we definitely have the Otama that we can play if we don't have the Momo. So we are playing the Otama here, looking at the top 5 for a Wano. Looks like we have the 2K option here, but it looks like that's our only option. And we are going to be sending an Ice Age and a Sabo, a Suru to the bottom. But we do get the 2K counter here, and then we're going to pass back. And I believe, if I saw correctly, we think we have the You Can Be My Samurai in hand here. So we may have that option next turn, or we may just end up playing Borsellino, depending on our draw, or if we decide to take life here. But we counter out the Helmeppo, want to have that in trash for our Moria. So she plays Jewelry Bonney here to search again. And she's going to pick up Cavendish here. And with 1 Dawn, she is going to either play another more pizza searcher or just pass it back over to us. It looks like we're thinking we're going to play the Borsellino this turn. So I would imagine this is a very quick swing 5 at Bonney and then drop down the Borsellino. And yeah, so she's going to be able to rest Otama with her leader ability. And then we're going to drop down the Borsa and pass back. And we do this so that she just can't freely swing 5, but we know that she has the Cavendish in hand, so she's going to pay 5 for Cavendish most likely, restanding 2 Dawn to keep up her leader effect as well as be able to swing 6. But she may swing into the Otama here. I'm not positive. I would assume that she's going to go at life. Yeah, she goes life, and we're going to take that. And it looks like we get our Moria off of life. And then for our turn, we're drawing into Belmir here. So on 6 Dawn here, we may play the Belmir to -1 to the Cavendish to give Perona an additional 1K power. Or we can, yeah, okay, I mean, this is fair. We definitely want to use the You Can Be My Samurai first, so that Borsellino just doesn't get rested from the leader effect anyway. And then we're going to use the Belmir here to give -1 to Cavendish and +1 to the leader. And then I'm not sure if we have any additional 4 Dawn plays here, if we have the Ryuma, or if we are just going to stack it all on leader here. $6K likely isn't enough to be able to get rid of Cavendish here, so I'm not sure what we're planning to use the rest of the Dawn for here. Oh, we're swinging at life. That means we do have the Ryuma. Okay, so that makes sense here. We're swinging 6 at life. She's going to take it and then drop down the Ryuma to get rid of the Cavendish. I was just missing that from my hand. And so moving into Bonnie's 7 Dawn play here, she still had a healthy life total if she wanted to drop down Hody here. But I think Basil also makes a lot of sense because we're going to struggle to be able to get rid of Hawkins. It looks like she's grabbing 6, so it's making me think it's going to be a Cavendish. Or sorry, not a Cavendish, a Basil. But now she's grabbing 4. So I'm thinking this is going to either be a Basil or an Arouge. I'm not sure how valuable Arouge is in this matchup specifically. I understand that it'll activate her leader ability. So it looks like she's going to swing 8 into Borsa here. We're just going to let that go, knowing that we can get it back off of our Moria. And so she does play Arouge here and restands the Dawn. So what I imagine happens here is that we are going to likely rest the Arouge, rest the Belmir, give plus 1k to the Ryuma, and then swing 7 into 5. And that's if we want to play our Moria down, because that's all we can really afford, being at 8 Dawn. So I think, yeah, you're going to see us rest the Belmir here to give plus 1 to Ryuma, to swing 7 into Arouge. She's likely going to use her leader ability to rest our own leader at this point, and then she may defend Arouge, but I'm not sure if that's the right thing to do just because we're going to be able to rest it every turn. However, it does give her her leader ability each turn that we do not get rid of it, but it's going to cost her 2 cards here. So you can see she gives us the Baby 5 and the Baby 5 Searcher. And then we do play the Gecko here just to get the Borsalino on board. We're debating about playing Helmeppo over Otama here, which it looks like we do, just to get another body on board. So we then pass it back to Perona here into her 9 Dawn turn. And worst case scenario for us as Perona would be for the Bonney to play down the 9 cost Zoro here, being at 4 life while we're sitting at 3 life with 1 blocker, seeing that we do not have the Ice Age in hand currently. However, we do have the 8 cost Sabo and 2 Surus, so the 2 Surus would be able to get it down to a 5 cost. Leader ability would make Arouge a 3 cost. And then the 8 cost Sabo would be able to KO both, but that would take 4 cards out of our hand. So that would be a bit taxing on our hand at this point. So we'll see what she does here. She's got 2 Dawns separated. I'm not sure what that's for. Looks like she's doing some Dawn math here, which is hopeful to me in that she may not end up playing the Zoro. So let's just see what she does here. Okay, now it looks like she's about to swing with lead. It looks like she may be swinging a base 5 here. I'm not sure whether that's at Belmir or at life. Belmir does give me the extra reach, but I'm going to block with Borsalino either way, assuming that Arouge is not going to be swinging here. And so, unfortunately, it does look like she's going to tap 9 here, which is telling me she's going to drop down the Zoro, which she does. So, unless we top deck Ice Age, we're going to have to play down the 2 Surus to get rid of both of the Arouge and the Zoro here. So, oh wow, it does look like we did, in fact, top deck an Ice Age here, which makes our play much more efficient. It's a very quick Ice Age minus the Zoro, make it a 4 cost. Use the Belmir or leader ability to make either one a 3 cost. And so it does look like we're going to tap Belmir here, or we're thinking about tapping Belmir to give one of them -1, but our leader ability does the same. So we do tap the Belmir, and you can see we gave the +1 to Ryuma, making it a 7. And now we're going to swing 9. And we're doing that because we know he still has the leader ability here, most likely going to rest either the Ryuma or the Borsalino. I would assume the Ryuma, given that it is now a 7k. She does choose to rest the blocker here instead, which I'm not sure that I agree with. I think our board's pretty wide here, but she doesn't know that we have the Ice Age in hand to be able to get rid of the Zoro. So maybe it does make sense from her perspective just to tap down the blocker. And so she does choose to block with a Arouge here, which I do admit this is a bit of a misplay in terms of sequencing. We didn't need to swing out before we cleared her board. We could have cleared both the Zoro and the blocker before making any swings here. I guess the only real caveat to that would be if she has the 10 drop in hand, she could have used leader ability on the Sabo so that she could have frozen the Sabo and the Moria, along with one of our bodies, most likely the Borsellino. And so we're just going to swing out here. We go 6k with lead, she takes, and now we're going 7k with Ryuma. She's going to take that as well, going up to 7 cards in hand. Now we're just going to use the Ice Age to subtract 5 from the Zoro and then play out the 8 cost Sabo, most likely pitching the Momo Searcher here because we want to keep the 2Ks plus the Sabo blocker in hand. So now we've cleared her board, gotten her down to 2 life, and now we have a pretty wide board here with 2 9K bodies along with the Ryuma and Borsellino. And then we also have the Belmir set up. So unless she drops a 10 drop here, I think we're in a pretty comfortable spot. Or really, even if she does drop the 10 drop here, we're still going to have 2 swings the following turn. And now, moving into Bonnie's 10 Don turn, she's just going to swing 5 at Belmir here. So we're going to let that go because we don't have the Borsellino standing for the free block because she was able to use her leader ability on Borsa. And now she's tapping 1 for the baby 5 searcher and then another one to be able to search with it. So I'm not sure what she's looking to pick up here. I think at this point, picking up a 10 drop would be a bit too slow given the swings that we have on board. And then 2Ks would, I guess, be somewhat helpful in this spot, but our swings are pretty tall at this point. And that's one of the reasons that I prefer just running the Supernova Searchers. As you can see her pick up the Viola 2K here. I think ultimately anything that you can do with the Baby 5 package outside of searching your 10 drop, you can also do with Supernova Searchers, making your build more consistent, because I think your Supernova targets are just better targets overall here. But with her remaining Dawn, you can see she plays down the Basil here, keeping 2 up. I would imagine one of those is for leader ability. And so we draw a Belmir off of our next turn. But I think that at this point, we're just going to swing wide. I would think that our first swing is going to be just a 9K base swing with one of our 9Ks. And then I would think that she's going to use the leader ability to tap one of the others, that leaving us with 3 remaining swings. I guess if we have 2 9K bodies, she's going to rest 1 regardless, so maybe it makes sense to save that swing. So we swing 5 with Perona into the Searcher. I don't know if that's the correct move or if we should have just pressured face like I was just referencing. I don't think that Baby 5 can really pick up anything that important at this point in the match. It's just going to either be 2Ks or the 10 drop or potentially the Rosie blocker, which we're just going to go face, so we would just rest the Rosie blocker. And so she's debating what she wants to rest here. I would imagine it's either going to be the Moria or the Sabo, and she does choose the Moria and lets the Baby 5 go. And so we still have 3 swings at this point. We may just want to get rid of the Basil, so we're going to use the -2 to make it a 4 cost and then leader ability to rest it. We may just go tall with the Sabo into the Basil. This is going to allow us to make sure that we clear it, or we just eat up her hand and then we're able to go into face. So she does let it go here. Having 5 Dawn up, I imagine that we're just going to play a Sabo over the Suru, so we're going to swing out with our other characters here. As we're not really trying to play around a 10 drop at this point, we're just trying to pressure face as much as possible because our board is wide enough to where a 10 drop doesn't do that much if we have 5 valid attackers on board plus our leader, as the 10 drop can only freeze 3 of them, so we'll be able to untap with 3 bodies or 3 swings. So we do play the Sabo here and are able to filter out cards. Imagine we're going to get rid of the Ice Age, which is non-counter, and the Belmir. So yeah, now we have, I believe, 5K counter in our 3 cards in hand, plus a full board of valid swings, including 2 9Ks, 2 6Ks, and then a 5K on offense, 6K on defense, and Borsellino. So So if she does play the 10 drop here, she's just going to be able to swing 5 at face, and we would take the free block with Sabo here, just because he's going to freeze the Ryuma or the Sabo if we have one. He's going, because the 2 9-cost bodies are automatically 2 of the 3 targets that he'll choose. So yeah, the fact that she's swinging 5 here tells me that this is going to be a 10 drop. She's debating if she does want to swing 5. So yeah, we do take the free block like I'm talking about, because 2 of the rest targets are going to be the 9K bodies, and then she's going to debate whether it's Sabo or Ryuma. Given that they're both 6Ks, I would always choose the one with the blocker tag. So yeah, that's correct. Now we're able to untap with our leader, Porcelino plus Ryuma, and that does give us 26K in available attack power, including the 6K Ryuma and 5K leader and Porcelino swings. So the biggest swings that we could do here are 8K, 9K, 9K, or we could just swing 7, get 2 cards out of her hand, and then go 9, 10. I think the reality is at this point, we know that we're in a commanding position, so we just go the 7, 9, 10. So yeah, we go 7 here, 9, she's going to end up taking that, I would believe. And then we end up going 10 because we still have 3 life. She has 2 characters on board, so there's no way we're in a position to lose here. Us also having 6K counter in hand, so we can counter out and protect our board. So she does go ahead and concede, so that's going to be game. Hope y'all enjoyed. Like, comment, and subscribe.